All right, here we go. So this is Sharon with Positively Provost, and I also own It's Time Promotions. And I've had an opportunity with Carman for quite a few years. Thank you, Carman, for that. Carman has his own business and McMeister Contracting. I know you've changed the name a couple of times,
Yep.
Carman. So I'm just going to
Yeah.
let
Yeah,
you.
that's true.
Yes, there's been a couple times we had to change those decals. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself, Carman, if that's okay to everybody.
Sure. You bet. Okay, my name's Carman Lessmeister. I own McMeister Contracting, and we've been in business for about 22 years now. And we do stucco, painting, drywall, tons of drywall. So that's basically what our company is about. So
You forgot one. You forgot carpet cleaning.
we do carpet cleaning too. Yeah, you bet.
Okay, so for example, I'm just going to jump in because like I'm literally looking at my ceiling right now. So Carmen, we bought the acreage last year. Yeah.
Right.
And we totally, well, you can tell, but we literally did major renovations, right? Basically, we took out many
Yep,
walls,
absolutely.
like lots of stuff, right?
Yep.
So we
Mhm.
had like where the walls were, those ceilings were messy. We had like Leon made different walls. Like we had a lot of work that I thought was a lot of work for you to do. So you did a lot of messy work for us. Like I mean, like that patching work, right? So
Yeah.
you do things like for
Yeah.
renovations, like for people like us, as well as new builds. Can you elaborate a little bit on like say, let's just go with renovations right now.
Sure. Yeah, no, we come in and we do quite a few ceilings a year. We'll scrape them down, redo them all, either retexture them or take them back to painted ceilings. That's a big part of what we do. We do a lot of tons of drywalling. We have all the modern tools that do good work at drywalling and stuff. And summertime we do a lot of acrylic stucco is what it is. We used to do cement stucco. We switched to acrylic. So acrylic's a
Oh,
little product. It doesn't crack like cement, and you can pick any color you want. And that's a big part of our summer is the stucco work for sure.
so sorry, the stucco. So that's like the whole side of the outside of the house. Is that what you're talking about?
A lot of it's the parch where your basement is,
Okay,
like
yes.
where your basement is, the bottom part is usually cement or wood,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll parch that with like stucco, or we'll do whole houses too, for sure. Yep.
Okay, yeah. So the newer, yeah, yeah, okay, I got you, I got you. So one thing when we did our ceiling too, Carmen, you said you want it painted.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I'm like, I don't know.
Yep.
So, but it just makes it
Yeah.
easier to, why am I painting my ceiling after you put the stucco on?
Sometimes we'll leave them. If some clients don't want to paint it, they'll just have them textured, and they'll maybe paint them in a year or two. What happens is it protects the stucco. You can wipe them down a little bit better if you paint a stucco or textured ceiling or whatever, and makes it a little bit shinier, a little bit cleaner looking too. So
Right.
yeah,
No,
for
I
sure.
absolutely love it. And there's different texture. I know you asked me about that as well. So how long would it take you to do a job about Carmen? Like say if you're
It
doing like
all
a renovation like ours, like what would that do? What would that be?
We would be, a solid probably 2 to 3 weeks to do a renovation like yours. Like that's every day, three people or whatever.
Yeah.
We have to, a lot of prep work is a lot of the work, is getting the walls to the point where we can start taping them and mudding them. And same as your ceilings, a lot of the work is, and the dirty work and you notice the dust and everything else is scraping the ceilings, getting them prepped. And then the texturing part is actually fairly quick and simple, but it's just the prep work that takes a lot of time. So
Right. And I honestly, because I think Leon thought, well, he can quickly do that wall, but it's a technique, Carmen. It's a huge technique.
yeah,
And why is it does
yeah.
nobody like doing drywall? Like whenever
I
you
think
talk about drywall, people hate drywall.
yeah, yeah. I think for somebody just to do it, it takes quite a few years to get good at it, to learn how to drywall properly. And it's for you to pick up, just a normal knife and mud box and do it. It's tough. Like we have some very specific tools to do good work drywalling too. We spend just in our taping and mudding tools, we probably have $7,000-8,000 worth of tools just to do that.
Right.
Because we have boxes that put the mud on just at the right thickness and stuff like that, and inside flushers and all that other stuff that make the job a lot easier to do. is the tools too. So, and it is quite a technique to learn too, for sure, to get good at it anyway. So
Right. And even like the end result, it looks like my house is new inside now, right? You know what I mean? Like it looks like you did a
yeah.
fabulous job. Like
Oh,
it's
thank you.
very, very
Yep.
nice. Yes. Okay. So
Yep.
Carmen, I know we had mentioned, I don't know, I think you're allowed to talk about it. Can you tell us about a couple of jobs that you're working on now? Well, actually, let's talk about the COVID-19 just so we get that out of our way right
Sure.
now.
For sure.
So, of course,
Yep.
because you're still working, and but I know before we hit record that you're able to work because you really kind of lucked out on a couple of jobs coming your way. So you're able to stay
Yep.
safe and still maintain some
Yep.
flow. So that's cool. Can you go elaborate on that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, we actually got a little bit lucky here. We picked up two big commercial jobs here. Both at the beginning of February. We were sort of doing them both at the same time. A church in town we were doing, and also another restaurant. So we were able to keep our distance because when we start drywalling, a lot of times there's nobody else in there. So, and these are big, big buildings, so we had no problem keeping our distances and stuff.
Nice.
And that was just about 3 months worth of work. So it got us through some good months that way. And now that summer's coming, we're going to start our Stucco probably in 2 weeks. So once we're outside, we can keep our distances a little bit easier too, for sure.
Right. That's perfect. Cause yeah, it's like for us, like we're pretty much shut down. Like Amber will go in and do some
Yeah.
vinyl jobs on a day, then I'll go in and do some embroidery jobs. Like it's you
Yeah.
gotta be careful for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Yeah. No,
so
I know
you're
we've had one or two jobs that we did start, and we didn't want to finish them after this. So once this is all over with, we'll come in and finish two houses that we did start doing
right.
renovations in. But the thing in the houses, we didn't go in them. So we're gonna wait until this is all blows over, and then we'll finish them for them for sure.
Yeah. And like there's no cases in our area, so we've been told, but you
Yeah.
can't be that person, right?
Yeah.
You got to do it right,
Yeah.
right? So
No, exactly right. No,
yeah.
that's for sure.
So Carmen, so you do also like new builds as well. So of course you
Mhm.
don't build the house, but you
Yep.
have contacts of people that
Yep.
they would contact you. Is that how that works?
Yeah, we do. We do drywalling for a couple different construction companies, and when they get to the point where we come in and drywall them. So when the electricians are out, we usually come in and hang the drywall, tape and mud, prime and paint. So, and we usually do about 3 to 4 new houses a year. So that's probably about half of our work a year is new houses. So
Nice. Those must be a little bit easier jobs than knocked out walls like
they're,
what
they're
we had.
yeah, they're a little more straightforward because you know what you're dealing with before you go in and stuff.
Mhm.
And yeah, yeah, for sure.
So even Carmen, like I know you have mentioned to us before that you have worked with a couple of the construction companies for a while. So that means that's a really good relationship to have with, you know what I mean, when they're doing
Yep.
that and they reach out to you. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you bet. No, you like to keep in good relationships with the construction companies because the good construction companies will subcontract a lot of their work out to the guys that do specific work like us for drywalling and stuff. So,
Hmm.
yep.
Yeah. And I noticed I liked your comment before we hit record. Now I'd like to touch on that again too, Carmen, about how you had said that you focus on like the drywalling, the painting, the stucco, and it's because you want to increase that expertise. So you're not a jack of all trades, but you really want to hone in on that and do it properly, right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly you hit the nail on the head for us. We only do the 3 or 4 things and that's it. And I feel that it makes us really good at what we do because that's all we do. So,
Right.
yeah, for sure.
And then even like you said, you have the proper tools for those jobs. So you must have like, you know what I mean? Like you're focused on that. So you have the right
Yep.
equipment and the tech and the experience, and that's great.
Yep.
Okay, and so you've been in business for 22 years in this area, right here
Yep.
in
Yeah,
Provost.
McMeister's has been here for 22 years. Since August will be 22 years, so that we started the business. I started it with my father-in-law to start with. It was just a painting company to start with, and
Okay.
then she moved down from the States, so quite a few years ago, and he taught us how to drywall. So that's how we got into that too. So yep.
And you liked it after you learned? That's crazy. I've heard bad things
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, like I said, if you have the right tools, it's not too bad. enjoy doing it. So yeah, the
You're
standing is worse.
probably used to wearing masks. For you, it's nothing now, hey?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, we wear masks quite a bit of the day. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So can you talk about how many employees you got, Carmen?
Okay, I got 2 full times, and I have a summer student starting at the end of May, and I have another lady that just started with us. Actually, today she started, and she's going to work Wednesdays and Fridays with us.
Yeah.
So basically, winter time we have 3 full times is what me and 2 other, and one's my
Right.
daughter. So yeah,
Right. And I
yeah,
think that as a small community, like that's what we need, like to have people employed, right? Like, I mean, like that's just flowing cash, that's just supporting our community. So it's really great. That's
yeah,
really great that you have those employees for sure. We
yeah,
talked about a radius. Most of your work is here, like around here within a 30-mile radius, correct?
yeah. Yeah, within 30 miles for sure. Yeah, and even tighter than that normally. Like we get most of our work right in Provost actually, but we will venture out to Czar or Macklin and stuff like that too for
Mhm.
sure. But most of it is right in Provost to tell you the truth. So yeah.
That's pretty nice. So I find that kind of miraculous that you can keep this busy in our small community. Do you not find that amazing?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's yeah, I don't know what to say. It's been good to it. We've been fairly lucky. We've been fairly busy even over the last few years. So when everybody else is slowing down, we seem to be okay. And like I
Yeah,
said, we have 2 good builders that only get us to do their drywalling. So that's a good probably 50 to 60% of our work for sure. So that definitely
right.
helps a lot. So yeah.
And even just relationships. Don't you? Can we talk about that a little bit? How important relationships
Sure.
are. Like even myself and in my company, you need those relationships. It doesn't mean if it's with
Yeah.
with the customers or even our suppliers. Like it's all about
Yeah.
relationships, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You bet. And word of mouth is a very, you do good work for people, and word of mouth is a big part of what you do in a small community. It helps a lot for sure.
It does. It
Yeah.
really, really does. Yeah. I don't know. I just think relationships is like just so important. Absolutely, absolutely
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
Absolutely important.
Yeah.
Um, okay, that's cool. So what else we're going to chat about? So, you don't talk very much about the carpet cleaning. How much carpet cleaning do you actually do?
We don't do a whole lot. We do a couple big businesses once a year. We have an industrial carpet cleaner. Like we'll do the drugstore once or twice a year, and we'll do if they do. I don't push it a whole lot, the carpet cleaning so much, but we do some of it. It does help a little bit here and there. It's a change of pace for us,
Right.
and it's okay. I don't mind doing it too. So
So it's more for the commercial buildings then. Okay. Because do we even
yeah,
have that on your signage on your vans and stuff?
I took it off. We did at
Okay.
one time.
Okay.
Years ago, and I sort of took it off. I, I wait until 2 or 3 people phone, and I will clean houses too.
Okay.
But I'll line them up a week or whatever, and then I'll do it, sort of thing. So,
Right.
but we do
Okay.
a couple of the bigger businesses in Provost, their carpets. So,
Gosh, its time needs it too, Carmen.
pardon?
We, our carpet at its time needs it, I think.
Oh,
Like 13 years we haven't had that carpet.
yeah,
14 years, 13 years. Yeah, that's a
right.
long time. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy. Um, I had a good thought and then I got sidetracked. It was a really good one too. I do that all the time. I should actually make notes as I'm talking. Oh yeah. So Carmen, I just want to know, so we talked about it before and I probably shouldn't be talking about because like about its time instead of positively provost, but we do your vans and you said that gets a lot of
mhm,
hits, right? Like that's the one that
yeah.
gets noticed.
Yeah, well, a small business marketing is very important. You have to spend some money, and you guys did a wonderful job in our bands. We get lots of good comments on it, and you
Yeah.
and you also did my trailer there, and that looks awesome, and that helps a ton. People really notice that. So in a
So
small
because
community,
especially
so
for your van because it's parked at the job site, right? So it's literally
yep,
advertising while you're
yep,
doing a job, right? So I
absolutely.
think that's a
Yeah,
double
it's
win.
like putting up a sign. Yep, yep,
Yeah.
for sure.
So like it's a driving billboard, but yet it's also a sign while you're working. So I think that's kind of I think vinyl for me
Yep,
is one of the best advertising, because it wasn't that expensive. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's expensive, but
No,
one job will
no,
get it'll get back.
exactly. I thought it was very reasonable, the
Yeah.
window decals you guys did.
Like
You know, it's a one-time expense and people see it for many, many years. So
yeah.
I think
Well,
it's a good
it's a
first
one-time
business
expense
just to,
unless you keep changing your name.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, then it gets more expensive. Absolutely.
No, I'm kidding. Okay, so anything that we forgot to talk about, Carmen, that you would like to share with Provost? Because I know
Ah,
that we're really grateful. Like, you've been here for a lot of years and you're sharing your expertise with everybody. You're helping everybody in our community. And what
yeah,
Positively Provost is about is just sharing with our community what we all have in this town. And like that, this is huge, right? So
for
I
sure.
really appreciate you
Yeah.
taking the time and talking with me. So did we
No,
forget
you're welcome
anything?
for sure. I don't think so. I think we got her covered. No.
Okay. All right then, Carmen. If that's it, I think that's all on my notes. So I'm going to hit end.
Sure.
Carmen, you stay on here with me and we'll chat a little
Okay.
bit more after we hit end. Okay, thank you everybody, and thank you,
Sure.
Carmen, for doing this with me. I really, really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Sharon, for everything you do for the community too. I
Thanks.
appreciate it.
Thanks.